Well, hello there, and welcome to The Great Ace Attorney, The Adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I have actually been waiting for this game for longer than, well, for as long as it's been out, basically. And it's never come out in English, unfortunately, so this is actually an unofficial fan translation. I do have a proper copy of the game on my 3DS, but as you can probably tell from kind of how the audio is lagging a bit, I am actually playing this on an emulator, because that's the only way I can record this playthrough. So unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with a little bit of lag here and there, but hopefully we should be able to get through the game just fine. A couple disclaimers. First of all, this is a blind playthrough, so please do not, if you know anything about this game, do not spoil anything, do not say anything that has not happened yet, and do not even hint at anything. And I don't need tips or anything, so if I seem to be struggling with something, don't worry about it. Just let me struggle. It's fine. Other than that, I think everybody knows the drill on that. I will also say that if you are a person who often watches Ace Attorney playthroughs, you might expect a lot of people to like voice the characters, try and like act out all the different personalities that all the characters have. I'm not going to do that because I am not I'm not an actor, and you really do not want to hear me doing that. Just trust me on that one. So I'm just going to be playing the game, not reading all the dialogue out loud. So you're going to have to follow along on screen if you want to follow along. So I know that's going to bum some people out, but I'm just going to enjoy the game more if I don't have to try and read all the characters' dialogue and all that out loud. So yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of Ace Attorney, and this just happens to be the first game in the series that I've actually been able to play blind on this channel, so I really want to take advantage of that. Other than that, what I do know about this game is very little, actually. I've pretty much avoided all spoilers. But I do know that that Sherlock Holmes and Watson apparently, like, they're on the cover and everything, so this isn't a spoiler, but they apparently show up at some point as characters. So, and that also has something to do with, like, the reason why this never came out in the United States, because there's certain, like, copyright issues with Sherlock Holmes in the US. Certain stories and such are not necessarily fully public domain here yet. So, yeah, that's... I imagine this game probably references a few of those, and that probably complicated things. But yeah, as far as my experience with Sherlock Holmes goes, I have basically none. Depending on when this goes up, you may or may not know that I have a podcast going where I'm actually reading Sherlock Holmes alongside this, so I know very little, and I will probably not be able to get that many references, but hopefully things line up in such a way that as I'm reading the first book in the Sherlock Holmes saga, A Study in Scarlet, as I'm reading that, hopefully I'll be able to also pick up on some references here. So yeah, but I couldn't wait until I was done that. So I really wanted to play this. So I think we're just gonna jump right in, and yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. So please follow along.
歴史的な開国から数十年、文明開化の大号令のもと、極東の島国にまさに今西洋文化の大波が押し寄せていた。活気に満ち溢れる帝都の民は変化、革新の熱気にむせ返り、その変化に戸惑う者も飲み込んで、時代は大きなうねりの中にあった。そして今、そんな時代を舞台に一つの物語が 幕を開く。
Alright, so it seems like we're going to be defending ourselves for the first case. Yeah, I do know that that guy is the protagonist. I also have some other things that I forgot to mention that I do know about this game. Hold on a minute. So yeah, I do know that we're playing as Ryunosuke Naruhodo, which Naruhodo is actually the Japanese name of Phoenix Wright, the Japanese name of the last name of Phoenix Wright. So basically, from what I can gather so far, this seems to take place sometime in like either the Meiji era or the Taisho era, sometime around or close after the Meiji Restoration. And it seems like we're playing as like an ancestor to Phoenix Wright. But I also forgot to mention this. As far as like spoilers go for the other Phoenix Wright games, I probably have no real reason to spoil them because this game is probably going to be so disconnected from other games that I probably will have no real reason to talk about like things that happen in those games. So I think the most I might end up spoiling is like game mechanics if we ever see any of those returns. So other than that, I think that's all I had to say about that. So yeah, it seems like we were in a restaurant of some sort and we ended up killing somebody, and that's that. Let me just check my controls real quick. So we've got, we can check the backlog here. Let me just, no. We can save here, I guess. Hold on. Okay, so it's select twice for backlog. And saving would be this. All right. Let's continue. The Grand Bench. Yeah, I imagine the court system is going to be pretty different since this is so far in the past. I mean, the original Ace Attorney games, it's not like their court system was all that faithful, even to the Japanese court system, because they had like the whole like expedited 3-day thing. But I don't know, maybe this game won't have that. I don't know. So it seems like they're pretty decided on the fact that we've already done it, which is not surprising. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Second-year student at Imperial Yume University. Huh. I guess we're probably gonna get a flashback here. Well, we might not, actually. I think this is the first time that we've ever defended ourselves in the first case, though. Oh, this guy is the defense attorney. I could see him on the cover and everything, and I just assumed that he would end up being our prosecutor, but it looks like he's actually going to be like our mentor figure. Probably. Well, I mean, that guy was pretty much just a mook, so can't really expect much there. Asogi. So that's his name, I guess. I mean, obviously. I have to make sure that I'm not going through these text boxes too fast, but luckily the lag makes the text appear fairly slowly, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, so the victim is a professor. We still don't have access to our court record or anything. Alright, well, at least we've got that out of the way. Because the game wouldn't be very long if it just turned out, yeah, I did it. Well, I'd like to believe in us as well. So I wonder how this is gonna work. Because this guy is going to be the defense attorney, but what's the gameplay going to be like for us? Maybe he's going to go, like, out of commission somehow, and that's going to cause us to have to take over? I don't know. I'm assuming they're probably going to university to be lawyers, but the fact that this guy is already qualified to be a defense attorney and he's in university is a little strange to me. Like, if he's already a defense attorney, then why is he still a student? What's he studying? Huh. So this is, like, pretty early in the sense that like, they still haven't actually, like, fully established what a defense attorney even is. And I imagine there's probably going to be a very heavy bias against them. Three days ago. We're gonna get a flashback? Nope. Or maybe. Okay, we will. Great. Oh, he was just qualified, huh? Oh, or that. Oh yeah, I did hear that actually this game takes place mostly in London, so that might actually be, or not necessarily London, but I think just England, I don't know. So yeah, that might be, something that ends up happening, I don't know. Let me just double check something, see if I can mitigate this lag at all. We might not be able to, but we'll see. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we can do much here. I've already got everything pretty much maxed out, or rather, set up so that it's not going to be as intensive as it could be. So yeah, we're just going to have to deal with this. It's not that bad, really. I'm sure we'll get used to it pretty quickly. I wonder if that's actually not lag, though. That might actually be, like an actual settings thing. Let me just double check here. I'm gonna say no for that. Also, the fact that my mouse is visible. I don't know if I want that, but we'll see. I think it's fine for now. Okay, so they're gonna be using the British Empire as, like, they're gonna be using that as, like, a model, I guess, for their legal system. Although, is it really an empire? It's more like a kingdom, right? Huh. Well, I guess here's where the professor shows up, or... Yeah. Oh, but they're not gonna show us. That character is important. She's on the cover. That guy I don't know about. That guy might end up being the killer. Okay, so he's a professor involved with the university, I guess. I really wish we could access, like, our profiles and court records and such. I have a feeling she's gonna be our assistant of the game. Eugen Mikotova, a professor of forensic pathology. Okay. So that means he's kind of involved in, like, crime scene investigation, huh? Let me just adjust one setting here. Actually, it seems like doing that does actually help. I don't know why that's even a setting, but apparently... I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to go into detail on that. Professor Mikotova. Huh. So it seems like he's not a bad guy so far, but that doesn't really mean anything in terms of whether or not he's going to turn out to be a killer. I wonder why they're calling it the British Empire. I wonder if that's just me being, like, historically ignorant or what. But I've never heard of Britain ever having, like, an emperor. I guess it could just be because they're Japanese, so they just view it as an empire because they're an empire. That could be one way of looking at it. Huh. So it seems like there's a lot riding on this for him as well. Although, I don't think we really have to worry about that, because I think we have it a lot worse if he loses this trial. Oh yeah, this is so much faster and so much better. I don't know why, but there was a setting where it was like limit speed to 40%, and I changed it to 90%, and suddenly now we're at 90%, and it's just, I don't know why that's even a setting. But my computer can handle it, so it should be fine. Although it could just be because there's no music, so it's a lot faster without the music playing. Yeah, well, that is good for everybody, because that means that our buddy should not lose this. But I have a feeling we're gonna have to help him somehow. I don't know why or how. Okay, it's special. Unfortunately, I don't even know what's considered normal for a trial in this era, in this location, so it doesn't really mean much for him to say that it's special at this point in time. Okay, so this guy really wants us to say that, for some reason. You know, I didn't even consider it, but what if Asogi is actually the murderer, and this guy knows it, and he really wants us to take over for our own defense, something like that. Yeah, I don't think that's the right thing to answer in that case. Gotcha, so that's why. I don't know why he wants him to not stand there, but it could be that this guy is actually the killer and he thinks that we're gonna be incompetent, so he wants us to represent ourselves? I don't know. Alright. Yeah, but more importantly, we'll be found guilty of murder, so... You know, forgive my, my heartlessness, I guess, but that's the more important thing here. The Supreme Court. Maybe that's how it's special? This is the highest legal authority in the Empire. Okay. Huh. That means there's potential for it to be rigged, which is not good for us. Okay. And of course, we've got a familiar-looking prosecutor there. The judge looks pretty different, though. I imagine we might get a more familiar-looking judge once we go to England, maybe? I think that actually is... I think Ouchi actually is the name that Pain has in Ace Attorney. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to catch a lot of these references because I don't know by heart like all the Japanese names of everybody, but I don't think there are going to be that many anyway, so... Okay, so that's our cue to say I am. But do we have any real reason to exclude him? I don't know. Do we want to trust that other random guy, or do we want to trust our friend here? I don't know. I feel like we should... I mean, saying I am makes sense gameplay-wise, but I'm gonna obviously save here. I kind of want to see what happens if we don't, though. So... let's wait and see what happens. I mean, the fact that he hasn't answered yet, I guess it's just gonna force us. And he's gonna look all surprised for some reason. Apparently we just fired this guy. I don't know why, but... I mean, I guess it'll make sense later. I mean, I guess the reason why hold on. The reason why Professor Mikotoba said that is probably because he doesn't want Asogi to lose this trial and miss his chance to study abroad. But I think that he might also have an ulterior motive in trying to, like... He knows that Asogi would win, maybe? There's two possibilities. Either he knows that Asogi would win, and that would be bad for him, because he's the killer, or he knows that Asogi's the killer, and it would be bad if Asogi was allowed to be the attorney here, because he would lose on purpose. It seems like the speed keeps decreasing. Let me just double check this. Okay, that did not work. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's not... that option is not actually what I thought it was. Anyway. Interesting. So he did actually know that we would do that, and that's why he didn't say anything. I did think that was a little odd. Hopefully we actually know what we're doing, at least somewhat. Hopefully that we're in the right, I mean, assuming that we're like friends with this guy, I'm assuming that we're studying law in some form. I like how he's actually, like, cool with this, though, and he's actually gonna help us out here. Makes me think that he's probably not the killer. I should have also, like, qualified, like, the reason why I suspected Asogi is because he was at the restaurant, and the reason why I suspect the professor is, number one, because they always introduce the killer, at least somewhat early, and number two, because he's another professor, so he might have some motive to actually kill the other professor. So I wonder why this case is actually being done in secrecy, though. Okay, so I guess they're gonna give us a little test here. Hopefully now we actually get access to our court record. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about the case, so they better give us some way to answer them. I don't know that. I think they told us once, but... Oh, of course he's choking up. I imagine they probably don't know each other that well, then. It's probably not a teacher that he has often. Okay, there we go. Seems like my buttons are not set up properly. Let me just check this real quick. Okay, so they actually are set up properly. It just... let's see. I guess I might have to actually tap it. Oh wait, it's not. It's just not letting us right now. Okay, so nothing wrong with my controls. There we go. So the button does work. Okay, so we've got this, which we can't investigate in 3D, so that's fine. Proof that one's a student at Imperial Yume University, always on school uniforms. Yeah, I can see it on his right now. We've got a post-mortem, which I guess is the autopsy report. Died after 2 p.m., was shot in the chest and bled to death. Bullet did not pass through his body. Okay. That's gonna be interesting to note. So he is a second-year student at Imperial Yume University. Kazuma Asogi. 23 years old, has great talent as a lawyer, despite just being a student. My best friend. And we've got Yujin Mikotoba, age 42. This is a professor at Imperial Yume University's Medical Research Department, an authority in forensic medicine, and Asogi's mentor. Then we've got Takatsuchi Aochi, age 51, the prosecutor investigating this case. It appears he does not approve of what cultural enlightenment has done to society. Yeah, he does seem like the stiff, conservative, traditional type. John H. Watson. Well then, the victim in this case was invited to come from the British Empire to the university. Medical doctor. Okay, well I thought Watson was a different character. A certain character that's on the cover, but I guess that makes a lot more sense, that this is the actual Watson, and the other character is, someone else. Maybe like his daughter or granddaughter or something. I'll get more on that later, but I know certain things about Watson from having read the first chapter of the first Sherlock Holmes book, and it did not fit well with the profile that this game was setting it up to have. I don't know. Anyway, looks like it's John H. Watson. Well, that's interesting that in this game's universe, John H. Watson is just dead. I mean, I guess... Actually, no, never mind. I don't really know enough about Sherlock to say that much. I was gonna say maybe this could take place, like, after all the books, but... I don't know. That might not be possible. It may just be that this is not meant to really coincide with the books all that well. Okay, so, we know the answer anyway. Okay, so we're actually presenting the profile itself. We didn't have to just, like, answer multiple choice. So, alright. Interesting that he's actually a professor in a Japanese university, though. This would have to take place in the, like, 1880s or 1890s, I would guess, for that to make sense time-wise. So that would put this in, like, the Meiji era, maybe, like, the very beginning of the Taisho era. No, this actually must be, like, the very, very late Meiji era. Because I think Taisho starts kind of too late for that. I don't know. Well, that explains why this is so secret, because this could be like an international incident. The Japanese-Anglo Treaty of Commerce and Navigation. Okay, that's probably going to be important. Okay, I see. So they really want to just make sure that this is wrapped up really quickly, and that's why this is going to be stacked against us. Okay, now we're getting at that flashback, huh? So if we're heading there too, then we might actually run into him, depending on how things turn out. Okay, so we actually don't know him very well, and he has a foreign name, so it's pretty understandable that he didn't remember his name off the top of his head. Yes, that would be a gunshot to the chest, I believe. Was it to the chest? Yeah. Okay. And it didn't pass through his body, so the bullet should still be in there, huh? Alright, so we just have to present the post-mortem. We don't even have to answer any questions about it. That's pretty easy. Okay, so they don't actually do autopsies here. Interesting. Alright, I'm just gonna try like this. We might actually end up speeding up a little too much, but hopefully that doesn't cause any problems. Okay, it actually is causing problems. So I've got an issue here. I'm not gonna go into detail on it, but the frame rate keeps getting capped. And that cap keeps lowering lower than 100%. And that is a problem, but I'll have this figured out by next time, so hopefully we only have to deal with it this time. Okay, what was that? A photograph of the crime scene. Right. There are gunpowder burns around the bullet hole, meaning the victim was shot at point-blank range. Okay. Although if he was shot at point blank, you would think that the bullet would go through him, but I guess depending on where he's hit, it might get lodged somewhere. Huh. Interesting that that's the first time seeing a photograph. Like, this is like in the 1800s, so... Okay, so we can zoom in on stuff like this. So we've got his buttons, which seem fine. And this is the bullet hole. Alright. Oh, I see what's going on here. I can actually fix this. Hold on. I understand. Yeah, okay. So, I've got a hotkey that's doing something, and that is what is causing that issue. Okay, I know exactly what is happening there. Let me just fix this real quick. Hotkeys. Yeah, that. We just don't want that to be anything. I guess we'll change it to this for now. Okay, that should fix that. Yeah, every time I hit my mute button, it would, like, lower the game's speed, so that was causing a lot of lag, even though that didn't... Yeah, that wasn't actually a thing, so... Okay, this should run a lot smoother from now on. I was wondering what was wrong. Okay, there we go. Also, it's interesting that they're using the British spellings here in this translation, but it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so now we've got a witness here. This might actually end up being the real killer. I don't know. We'll see. Satoru Tosonaga. La Quantos, a restaurant serving Western cuisine. He is a waiter. Okay. That does not sound normal, but if you say so. Oh, this is so much smoother. I'm so glad I fixed that. Alright. Just after 2 p.m. That lines up with the fact that he died after 2 p.m. Normally have few patrons at that hour. After the lunch rush, only 3 groups of customers remained. That lines up with our memories. That's good. Okay, if he was in the kitchen, though, how did he know that only 3 groups remained? I mean, I guess they keep track of when people leave? I don't know. Like, we must have witnessed something, though. Surely, if somebody just gets shot right in front of us, we're not gonna have not seen anything. Okay, we are not allowed to do this right now. We should not be testifying here. Like, they have not called for any of our testimony, so... Then again, I don't know how this legal system works, but... Alright. I wonder if they actually have, like, fingerprints and everything in this. Like, I don't know how advanced the forensic science would be in this age. Because if they did have fingerprints, then they should be able to tell if he was holding the gun in, like, a position that you would hold it to actually fire it, or if he was just holding it in a position where someone would just be happening to pick it up, you know? Oh, we've got a woman there. Huh. So she might also be a potential suspect, although it would be weird for them to introduce the killer so late in the first trial. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We'll have our chance to strike back. They'll give us a penalty if we interrupt him, so... Is he saying we should object? I don't think we have a valid objection there, though. We can't use our own testimony against his. Actually, I guess we can use his own testimony against him, because he said that there were 3 groups of customers left, so... Okay. I mean, what we have to say there really means nothing in terms of the legality here. But if, obviously, we trust what Naruhodo saw, so if that is true, then that means either that this waiter is in on this and he's actually an accomplice to the woman and he's trying to hide her presence, or it could be that she actually came there from another table and he didn't view her as having come with him or anything. Something tells me that we're actually going to get a chance to look at the business card, and it might have something important on there. Because that's a Chekhov's gun. You don't just say, oh, it was on the back of my business card, and also you can see all the text on the back there, although I can't read it, but you can see the text there, and some kind of symbol on the back, so they wouldn't put that in there for no reason. Alright, let's see if we can actually look at the other side. Well, it's not going to let us right now, but as soon as this bubble finishes. Alright. Details. Okay, so we can kind of look at things in detail, but we can't read that, so this is useless to us, at least as an English speaker. I imagine there might have been a hint here if you spoke Japanese, but they were not able to translate that, which probably means that it's nothing, because if it was important, then they would have translated it, so it's not even worth thinking about. Okay, well, do that if you have one. Also, the shifty eyes, man. He really is... like, he looks really suspicious here. I mean, that's a good idea if you actually are guilty, but in this case you aren't, and we should be able to prove it, so... Alright. Two witnesses. Wait, what? So we're going with the Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney style of having multiple witnesses on the stand. I think I heard about that, but I just forgot. But I guess that's gonna be a mechanic, I guess. Taizo Uzukumaru. Oh god, that's gonna be hard to say. Sono Higurashi. Oh, never mind. Sanman, or Sanmon, Sono Higurashi. Unfortunately, I don't have enough Japanese knowledge to understand whatever puns are going on in these names, but I might be able to recognize one or two. We'll see. Okay, well, that's pretty decisive if they actually did witness it. That is not good. So, we either need to prove that these guys are lying or mistaken somehow. Yeah, it sounded like a baby crying. I'm not sure, I wasn't sure what that was. I don't know why that keeps happening. Oh, he has a baby strapped to his back, doesn't he? You could tell that he has something strapped to his back, but yeah, that's definitely a baby. Alright, our first actual testimony, our first cross-examination. It's been like an hour, and we're finally at the first one. The first bit of real gameplay. Okay, so why is that old man even here? It seems like he didn't witness anything. Okay, so he actually picked it up like that, huh? That's not good. Although, his fingerprints wouldn't be on the trigger, so there's that at least, but that doesn't really mean anything. And I don't even know if they know about fingerprints, honestly. Alright, so now we're actually in the meat of things. Yeah, but we still have the right to do it, so doesn't mean anything. Why would it benefit us to waste everyone's time? That's stupid. Alright. So we're gonna press every statement, and yeah. I didn't see anything that stood out in conflict with the evidence just immediately, but I'll pour over everything again and we'll see. Alright. Chatting with the old man as I ate my beefsteak. We really have no idea what we're doing, do we? Okay, and come to think of it, this kind of looks like a beefsteak. Actually, that could be a cutlet. I don't know. I don't know anything about food, honestly. I mean, it just looks like meat, and I don't know what those grill markings or whatever on them are, necessarily. Okay, so that's not cutlet then. That is beefsteak. So that's going to be important, I think. We're going to want to keep that in mind. Well, we didn't really get much there, I guess, but those details about which food is what, that might actually come in handy later. We'll see. Okay. And what was this treasure exactly? Also, do we have the gun? It's evidence? No, we don't. Okay. Also, we've got all these guys' profiles added, so let's read these. We've got Satoru Hosonaka, 29, head waiter of the Western-style restaurant La Quanto's, was waiting tables at the crime scene on the day of the incident. Then we've got Uzukumaru Taizo, soldier of the Imperial Army, rank sergeant, witnessed the incident. Then we've got Sanman Sonohigurashi, 67, owner of the antique shop Sonohigurashi's Hall of Discard, on the corner of the Imperial Capital's second block. Eyewitness. There we go. A Koban. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. The Hoei era. I'm not familiar with that era. Okay, so he was wrestling with a piece of grilled meat. Oh wait, he means him. Like, he doesn't mean Watson, he means Uzukumaru. Okay, himself. Then the flash of a gunshot, that moment was burned into his eyes. Okay, so he's just straight up lying. I don't know why, though. Okay, so then he didn't see the gun being fired. He only heard it and then looked and saw him holding the gun. Well, there's our contradiction, because he was shot in the chest, not from behind. So, yeah. But we do have some things to present, or rather, we do have some more statements to press there. So, I'm gonna go through all the statements every time, pretty much, unless I'm just really, really not interested. I don't know. But we'll play it by ear. But most of the time, I'm probably gonna want to hear all the statements. So. Okay, really? That's the question you're gonna ask? That was a really bad question to ask, because that literally just gives him a chance to reiterate that it was you. But I think that actually might clear us, because this guy saw us standing behind him, right? So that means that we couldn't have shot him. Or we couldn't have been the one to shoot him, because he was shot from the front. And there's our big hint. Of course, he should catch it as well. But he's letting us take care of it. Alright, and finally we've got this one. I get the feeling maybe the soldier swiped it. Alright, so we know exactly what to present and where, so... I'm skipping through this kind of quickly because it's stuff that I already know, but... And it's not really that interesting, to be honest. Like, it's just tutorial stuff, so... Alright. So, I think it was the second to last statement. A sudden cowardly shot from behind. Except, he was shot from the front. I'm surprised we didn't Igiari there. We just did a height instead. Oh, we just tossed it at him? Yeah, plus the chair was behind him. There's no way you could have shot him from behind. Okay. So why would he think that he was shot from behind? Either because we were standing behind him, or because he actually was shot from a different angle. I don't know. And there's this baby. Well, there we go. You could say he Gyakuten Saibend, or rather, turnabout to the courtroom. I don't know. True that we should also listen to what he said, but nothing he really said was relevant. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And he's looking away, not making eye contact. Okay, so we're gonna bring back the butler, or rather the waiter. Okay, so it's going to be the same two witnesses. Kudomaru. Is that a booger that's floating out of his nose there? Alright, identifying the true culprit. Okay, so you apparently now saw that he took aim at him. And there were no other customers in the restaurant besides them. Interesting. So for some reason, they also didn't know that there was a woman there, but we saw her. That is strange. Well, I don't see anything there that contradicts straight off the bat. Okay, so we've got a new photo. This is good. Hold on. That does not look the same. Does it? It looks like somebody had eaten a bit of that steak, or that beef steak, after this photo had already been taken. I guess it's not too huge of a surprise, like... Let me count the number of ridges. No, yeah, that is definitely not the same. But I don't know if that's actually a detail that I should be caring about or not. I think I should be caring about that, though. Yeah. That seems like a pretty clear contradiction. I don't know what it means yet, but that's definitely someone ate a bit of that meat after the fact. bottle of sparkling water and a plate from a steak lunch are on the victim's table. So it is a steak. There's that. Sparkling water. Wait. How much is there? There's that. And then... we can't tell how full this is. Hold on. Is that even the same type of glass? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. But there's no water in the glass over here. And there is in the other one. This is weird. I can't tell if these are like just minor discrepancies that don't matter or if they are actually things that matter. So I'm gonna keep those in mind. You know, this is kind of reminding me of a certain case in Phoenix Wright 3. The third or second case in that game, I believe. I think it was the second. No, it was the third. Third case in that game. I think. Yeah, definitely the third. I feel like the trick used here might be the same trick there. I don't know. We'll see. People who know which one I'm talking about, they probably know what I mean. We haven't cross-examined yet, though, so... Alright. Unfortunately, this feels pretty hopeless. Like, it doesn't seem like there's gonna be much way out of this, but... it's... I don't know, like, it feels like everything is against us, but... Okay, identifying the true culprit. Let's press first. I don't know if that's really relevant in this case. Okay, but we didn't see it. Okay, but if you ask us to prove that you definitely blinked your eyes in that moment, we can't do it, so that's not really a good example of anything. Although, actually, no, that doesn't make sense. Because I was saying that the trick might be the same as the one in that other case that I was talking about, but that wouldn't work because they saw him, specifically. Well, actually, it might, if someone dressed up as him. but I feel like they would recognize an imposter. Like, they say they clearly saw him, so I don't think that we're dealing with anything like that in this case. Although this is the first time he said that he actually remembers that. Let me just double check here. I don't know. I don't see anything that really contradicts. Can we present profiles? No, we can't. Okay. Also, that's where he was, so that's important. And also, that does not line up. Like, nothing about this makes sense. Because that chair that he's supposedly sitting in is not the chair that the butler marked, or the waiter. Because looking at it from that angle, you wouldn't be able to see the other tables. Or could you? Actually, yeah, you could. Never mind. Yeah, if you're looking at it from this angle, you probably could. Kind of from this angle over here. Yeah, I guess having my mouse around is actually somewhat handy here. Or I could just do this angle right here. Well, let's press this anyway. Also nice, I could actually see the actual Japanese prosecutor's badge on his shoulder there. It's a nice little detail. Huh. No other customers. Well, I think we're actually going to finish off this cross-examination next time, and maybe even this entire case, we'll see. But maybe not. I don't know. Although now that the lag issue has been taken care of, we at least have that problem worked out. So yeah, I'm definitely interested. I'm intrigued so far. I like that it's not too straightforward. Like, it feels like I don't even really know what happened, and this is the first case, so that's a good thing. So yeah, until next time, take care, and I will see you then.